This Sunday, terrorists attacked a bus carrying pilgrims in Jammu and Kashmir's Reasi district. The incident shocked India. Yesterday, a second attack happened in the Kathua district. Two terrorists opened fire at a village. Both were neutralised, but a civilian was injured and a police officer was killed. Soon after, there was another attack, this time in the Doda district. Terrorists attacked a joint checkpoint of police and security forces. 6 people, including 5 soldiers, were injured. That is 3 attacks in 3 days. So Jammu and Kashmir is on alert. But the escalation is not limited to this region. India has been fighting terrorism on multiple fronts for years. Even ahead of the G7 summit here, a Mahatma Gandhi statue has been vandalized by suspected Khalistanis in Italy. It's an issue that world leaders must focus on, but don't hold your breath for them to do it. Because some of these leaders are themselves guilty of appeasing the Khalistanis and turning a blind eye to Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. Here's a report.
Last evening was like any other in Jammu and Kashmir's Kathua district. But around 7:30 p.m., things changed. 2 people entered a village in the district. They went from house to house asking for water. Villagers became suspicious. They raised an alarm. And that's when the 2 terrorists opened fire, injuring a civilian. Security forces killed one of the terrorists on the spot, but the other fled. While the police and paramilitary forces launched a search operation, there was another attack. This time in the Doda district. Terrorists attacked a joint checkpoint of the police and security forces. Again, they opened fire. They also hurled a grenade at the checkpoint. Security forces retaliated. The exchange of fire continued till early Wednesday morning. 6 people, including 5 soldiers, were injured, but the terrorists fled. Around the same time, police were able to neutralize the second terrorist who was on the run after the Kathua incident, and a police officer was killed during the operation. 2 back-to-back terror attacks in Kashmir within a matter of hours. On Sunday, there was another one. Even as Prime Minister Narendra Modi was taking oath for a historic 3rd term, terrorists attacked a bus carrying pilgrims in Jammu and Kashmir's Reasi district. They opened fire at the bus. The bus lost control and fell into a gorge. 9 people were killed. 33 people were injured.
बस हमारी जो है थोड़ी सी आगे जाकर खाई में पलट गई। 5-6 राउंड गिरने के बाद एक बड़ा पत्थर में जो है बस फंस गया और रुक गया। और सभी लोग जो है छोटी लोग हैं, उसमें कोई पड़ा था बेसुध, कोई इधर, कोई बाहर, कोई बस में, और सभी लोगों को एकदम जो है चोट लगा हुआ था। और फायर होता रहा, तब भी जो है 10-15 मिनट तक और फायर हुआ।
So that is 3 attacks in 3 days. The big question is, who is behind these attacks? The Pakistan-backed TRF, or the Resistance Front, claimed responsibility for the Reasi attack. The TRF has been linked to the Lashkar-e-Toiba. It has also been responsible for terror attacks in Rajouri and Poonch over the last month. Meanwhile, Kashmir Tigers has reportedly claimed responsibility for the Kathua attack. It's an offshoot of the Pakistan-backed terror group Jaish-e-Mohammed. Since its inception in 2000, the group has carried out several attacks in Jammu and Kashmir, including the Uri attack of 2016 and the Pulwama attack of 2019. So far, many details remain unclear, but one link is clear. India's neighbour, the hotbed of terrorism, Pakistan, continues to ravage Kashmir. Ironically, these attacks come at a time when former Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his historic win. Sharif says that advancing the well-being and security of both nations will remain Pakistan's priority. So, is fueling terrorism in Kashmir Pakistan's idea of advancing security?
ये हमारा एक हॉस्टाइल नेबर है जिसके यहाँ पर जो पीसफुल हमारा सारा एनवायरनमेंट है उसको डैमेज करने के लिए उसकी हमेशा कोशिश ये रहती है। तो लिहाजा ये जो इन्फिल्ट्रेशन है ये अपीयर टू बी फ्रेश इन्फिल्ट्रेशन।
Jammu and Kashmir is on alert, but this escalation is not limited to it. Ahead of the G7 summit in Italy, a Mahatma Gandhi statue has been vandalized. But this time, the alleged culprits are Khalistani extremists. India's security is being threatened on multiple fronts. While the West loves to preach to India unnecessarily, it would be better if they instead use their voice against these cowardly attacks on India and its national icons.
Fan of Italy's famous cuisine? Well, we are serving it with a side of diplomacy. As the G7 leaders gather in southern Italy, Vantage is taking you to the heart of the action. What's the agenda? Who is invited? And how is Italy preparing for it? Catch the special edition of Vantage throughout this week, only on Firstpost. Fan of Italy's famous cuisine? Well, we are serving it with a side of diplomacy. As G7 leaders gather in southern Italy, Vantage is taking you to the heart of the action. What's the agenda? Who is invited? And how is Italy preparing for it? Catch the special edition of Vantage throughout this week, only on Firstpost.